Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. Today's video is going to be focusing on a product from Wilderness Innovation called the Osney. Now you might not be aware of it, but I kind of like the camouflage pattern multicam. And I know that's going to be a real big surprise to some of you. But I was doing a web search for multicam under quilts and top quilts back in the summer, and I was coming up with a whole lot of nothing. There were quite a few companies, I think the Hammock Shop and a few other places that used to custom make under quilts, top quilts, and multicam, but they no longer do so. Well, I happened upon a website called Wilderness Innovation, and it popped up for underquilts because they have a product that actually can be used as an underquilt or a top quilt. And very intrigued, I went ahead and got on their website, looked at it, said, okay, yeah, I love the fact that, you know, I have certain pieces of kit that can solve more than one problem, can be used for more than one thing. And to me, that's just good bushcrafting, to be able to have multi-use pieces of kit. So I went ahead and ordered a couple of the Osneys, and it's essentially a poncho liner plus, but since, you know, they are technically poncho liners, and I know a lot of these products that are out there, like the Helicon Tex Swagman roll, they aren't really compatible with, you know, the whole range of ponchos. So it's sort of like, you know, company specific poncho designers matching up with their own poncho liners for the most part. So I went ahead and ordered one of their survival shelters, which is a poncho. Now that poncho liner, or the survival shelter, that's going to be getting its own video. But I want to introduce all of you to the Osneys. And there will be follow-up videos for this. But I just wanted to get this out here simply because my Grandmonkeys from my last video that was published, they were wearing them around, and there were quite a few questions as to what they were, where they came from. So this is going to answer all those questions, and then another video is going to go much further in depth with them, as well as comparisons to other similar products. These are the Osneys, and this is the Wilderness Innovation Survival Shelter, aka Poncho Plus. Like I said, this will be getting its own video. A lot of little things that I've already been doing for this and will continue to do, and I'll be putting all that in its video. Now the Osney, like I said, is essentially a poncho liner plus, and the plus means that you can wear it really as a true poncho liner. It means that not only is there a hole to put your head through, but there's also a hood. Now, these particular products, called Osneys, are multifaceted, to say the least. It will put you in mind of Helicon Tex's Swagman roll. And doing a lot of comparison and contrasts, I'm leaning toward liking these just a little bit better, but that will be brought up in the next video where you'll see these, because we're going to be doing comparison and contrast between the Helicon Tex Swagman roll and a lot of other similar type products. But when I ordered these, I specifically was only going to really use them as underquilts and top quilts. I wanted something that was a little bit mid-weight to lightweight for the summer months, and these seem to meet the bill. Now they come in two different types of insulation fill. One is the 3.6 ounce, and in the next video you get all the specifications on the type of insulation, everything else. And then the other one as you can see, is a little bit larger. It's the 5 ounce. Now, they aren't compact, not at all. They're roughly the size of normal sleeping bags, not ultra lightweight down sleeping bags, not compact. Now, both of the Osneys, as far as their basic design and construction goes, is absolutely identical, other than a heavier insulation fill in the 5 ounce compared to the 3.6 ounce. Now, I will tell you right off the bat that the 3.6 ounce, which is the one I'm pulling out of the bag right now, is by far much warmer than the Helicontex Swagman roll. Now, it is, you know, like I said, it's basically the same dimensions as a poncho liner, and it goes right inside their survival shelter, which is a poncho. Now, I purchased the survival shelter that was long in the back. I have from Survival Solutions the OPSEC poncho, which I absolutely love, and I love the feature of the back being much longer, especially when I put it over my backpack. So that's the way I got the survival shelter, and that is the way I got the Osneys. The Osneys go together, or go on just like the Swagman roll. And as you can see, it's much more puffy than the Swagman roll because it's a lot warmer. Now, this does not have the snaps or the ITW buckles and straps, which, yeah, I won't go there. It has the snap system that's identical to the military version of the poncho, which was never put on the military issue poncho liner. So you very easily can snap them in the back. I burned my finger. There we go. So it's snapped in the back, and you can also bring it in the front and snap it in the front. And you've got a match coat. Now, that is great. This is super, super warm. It's hot right now. Being in the sun, this is just flat out hot. But, so, you know, you've got the ability to turn it into a match coat. No problem. Wear it around camp. You can wear it around camp right like this. Nice and comfy and cozy. You can snap it all the way down to the end and basically have a walking blanket that, you know, some of the draft is cut down. And one of the things I like about it is the fact that you can roll the snaps. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Is you can roll, I'll bring it up closer. You can roll the snap to snap like that, so it actually folds in on itself and reduces draft. That's a pretty cool feature. Now, this is great. If you're familiar with the Swagman roll, this does most everything it does. There's no pocket. You can actually get pockets put in these at extra charge. This is all custom made stuff. All of these are made to order, and that sun's killing me. All of these are made to order, and you choose the exterior color and the interior color. And I chose green. Me being a fool, not thinking it through, I should have ordered the heavier one with coyote interior so I could recognize and separate them visually between a lighter weight, which could be summer, and a heavier weight, which could be fall, with the colors. Didn't think about it, I just wanted olive, so that's the way it went. Now on the ends, and I'll bring it in closer so you can see it again. On both ends, there are cord locks and pull tabs. And what those are designed for is so that you can cinch the ends tie it off. And now you can have a puckered toe to go at the base of basically a sleeping bag. And you snap that all the way and you've got a sleeping bag. One of the issues I had with the Swagman roll is it's just snug. Same issue here. Same issue here. You could order an extra wide, which in hindsight I should have done that, but if you're wearing your outer layer up on your torso, on the top part of your body, that should be more than sufficient to take care of you and be able to keep, basically from my sternum down, I can buckle with no problems. Just my shoulders. And I'm not a particularly big guy, but apparently my shoulders prevents me from getting a good fit with this. I can snap it, but it will come unsnapped again pretty quick and pretty readily. So you can cinch the top and cinch the bottom. That can pull it up above your head as a hood, and which is pretty cool. The other thing that's really cool about being able to cinch the bottom and the top is the fact that you can make an underquilt out of that. When you cinch the bottom, snap it up to about right here, you've now made a foot pocket for a top quilt. So I've got great hammocks, which this will work absolutely fantastic with. However, after further investigation, because I was sort of in a hurry just to get something that I can use as a top quilt and a bottom quilt that was in multicam, I didn't really research it the way I should have, because I wasn't looking for the qualities and the products that they sell. I was looking for something else. Now, their survival shelter can be turned into a hammock that's completely compatible with this. And the beautiful thing about this being compatible with a survival shelter, as far as a underquilt goes, I've had issues with the bungee in underquilts sagging, allowing a little bit of air in, things like that. You got to mess with it. Your underquilt can snap into your hammock, and you can use one or the other as a top quilt, in addition to just being able to wear it like a poncho liner. Insulated rain protection. Now this is coated with a DWR, and I've not tested it in the rain or anything else, but if you watched my Grandmonkey's video, you can tell that this is ramen resistant, because my grandson Wyatt was eating his ramen. It was just running all down the front, just rolling down. So it doesn't smell like ramen anymore, but I know that it's ramen resistant. So, and they do come with these mesh bags, and you very easily could put these in your own compression bags and compress them. The insulation in these is synthetic, so you don't have to worry about crushing your loft if you have like down, things like that. I'm going to read some of the specifications for you here in just a minute, so you get weights and that base information just to whet your appetite a little bit. But I wanted to do a short video just to introduce these, tell you a little bit about them, and let you know in advance that I am going to be doing a much more extensive video on these, and I plan on using these a lot from now and through it gets so warm that I don't need them, and then probably again in the fall. So far I'm real impressed with them. I absolutely love them, and I can't wait to be able to get in and explore all the facets with how these interact with Wilderness Innovation Survival Shelter. I'm not going to run into all the specifications with you. I'm just going to hit a couple of the keynotes I want to tell you about. The insulation that's in this is ClimaShield Apex, and which is fantastic synthetic insulation in that it does provide insulative qualities even when it's wet. But the ClimaShield is also treated with DWR to prevent it from retaining moisture like most of the standard synthetic insulations that are out there. It's a little more expensive, but it's a whole lot nicer, and it's continuous fiber. So when they roll this stuff out, it's in a great big blanket. It's just not a bunch of loose stuff that's floating around in there. So it's a lot easier for them to work with, and it just provides a whole lot better insulation for you. Now this is from their literature, and this is what they say about it. It has 7 functions. A poncho liner for their ponchos, which is their survival shelter, a greatcoat, which I demoed that, a serape, which I demoed that. It's basically the greatcoat without being snapped up, it's loose. A blanket, I have used it as a blanket. It's very nice. And a half sleeping or bivy bag, and I think that they hit it right, half sleeping bag, because I can only get it snapped to my sternum and the rest has got to stay open. It's a full-length sleeping bag for a standard size person. Apparently I'm not a standard size person. I thought I was pretty average, but apparently I'm not standard, which is fine for me. I don't want to be standardized. Okay, it's a whoopee with a hood, an under quilt or a top quilt for hammocks, or a hammock inner liner. I've not seen those promoted, but there you have it. And it can be used as a standalone or with the poncho. And as far as just wearing it around camp and things like that, if it's not raining, these things are absolutely fantastic. And I have not worn the 5-ounce that much at all because it is too warm for most of the times where I've worn it. So the 3.6 has been more than sufficient for any of the uses I had. When we had our cold spell not too long ago, I had these then, and this is what I sat on the couch to watch TV with instead of a quilt or something like that, and this was super warm. This was really, really nice. And again, that was a 3.6 ounce, not the heavyweight one. Well, folks, hopefully I got your interest piqued in this, and I will be trying to get the follow-up video done as soon as it possibly can. If all goes well, maybe next weekend I'll be able to shoot that. I have a lot of things to get caught up on, and I have to take it in the order that I need to get those things done. This weekend I was able to shoot, this would be video 6, and they're all fast and furious. They're raw, they're rough, but I got to get them done, and I got to get them aired. So hopefully you'll be watching the next one when I do it. It's going to be a much longer video, and it's going to be much more in-depth with a lot of comparison and contrasts with other poncho liners or poncho liner like products. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Folks, if you happen to like today's video, and I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up down there on the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed and you like the content you've been seeing, I'd appreciate a subscription from you. And anyone that's subscribed, please hit that notifications bell so you can keep up to date on all my latest videos. Now, with all of my videos, I learned so much from the comments that are provided by you. And so please comment on any of the videos that you have anything whatsoever to share with, because I know if I'm learning from it, anybody else that is reading those comments will learn from them as well. Also, if you see a particular video that hits home with personal interest of yours, and you happen to pick up a couple tips from it, and you know someone else that's into the same thing, and they might be able to pick up some tips and tricks from those videos as well, by all means, please share them. All these things go together with YouTube's algorithms, and it gets my videos out there. And I know it's a big game that has to be played. And unfortunately, this is the type of thing that I have to do to sort of like nudge you to, hey guys, do this for me. And just to get these out there so folks can see them. I know I'm not a professional, I'm just some guy, but I know I have a couple things in every single video I produced that could be of use to someone out there that sees them. And unless those algorithms are working in Boondockery's favor, folks never get an opportunity to see them. I had a lot of folks contact me when I had a couple spikes on a few videos. My do-it-yourself field ration video is well over 100,000 views now, and prior to people seeing that, they never even knew Boondockery existed. They said, I had no idea you were out there. I have actually even typed in the search for the very title of your videos, and your videos did not pop up. So YouTube has the power to make me visible or make me invisible. And I much prefer being visible out there, because what little bit of information that I have to share to make your wild camping and bushcrafting and woods time better, I want to do that. Thank you. An underquilt or a top quilt, and a hammock inner liner. I don't know why is that different from a oh, okay, duh. Take two.